I really loved Star Wars Visions, and I'm here to fucking rank them. Yes, I know I'm kind of late to this, but who gives a shit? At number 9, we have Tatooine Rap City. This one's kind of just the odd man out. I'm not a big fan of the art style, especially for this specific story. I don't really like the plot as much as it focuses on the band mainly and not the two side stories that are kind of intriguing. One being the Padawan and the other one being the Hutt family. But since both of those get blown off to the side, I mean, that's the only thing I found intriguing about this episode, so. At number 8, we have TOB1. I really found this interesting as the animation fit the lighthearted story that it was telling at first. The relationship between a cybernetic boy who wants to be a Jedi and a scientist who is a Jedi. This one really gave me a Pinocchio vibes, I don't know. But then the story takes a weird turn as the Jedi Master gets fucking killed by a Sith, and then this cybernetic boy just becomes a fucking master with a lightsaber and fucking bitch this Sith. I don't know, the turn of the story really didn't settle with me. I thought this was going to be more of a lighthearted story, and I would have liked that. But instead we got something else completely that I didn't really fuck with. At number 7, we have The Twins. The opinions on this episode are absolutely split. You either have this episode near the top of your list or near the bottom, and I'm one of the people that have this near the bottom of the list, solely because it is way too over the top. Now, when it comes to Star Wars Visions, you have to take each episode with a grain of salt as they don't completely follow the rules of Star Wars. But even with that being considered, The Twins is still just batshit crazy even compared to the other episodes. You have both characters fighting in outer space without any helmets. I don't know how the fuck they do that, I guess with the Force. You have one of the characters hanging upside down on an X-Wing while holding on to anything. He's also as precise with a lightsaber as a goddamn surgeon while going in light speed. And on top of that, he goes into hyperspace outside of his X-Wing, upside down while holding on to anything. I guess he's a Naruto character, having goddamn chakra running through his feet. Okay, I think you get my point. There's just a lot of bullshit that goes on with this fucking episode. At number 6, Lapa. I think out of all the episodes, this is my favorite animation style, especially when it comes to the sceneries. I mean, they're so fucking damn beautiful. This one kind of relates to TOB1 because they both had stories that I thought were going to go one way and it went entirely the other way. You have a very interesting conflict between the father and daughter here. One wants to keep their traditions and oppose the Empire, while the other one wants to align with the Empire for their technological advancements. And honestly, that seems like such an interesting conflict, especially for the shortened time they have. But instead, they go for more of the family getting divided conflict. And that's not terrible, it's just with the shortened time of each episode, it's not really as interesting as the conflict that I stated previously. At number 5, The Village Bride. The biggest problem with this episode is that it's so damn inoffensive, and because of that, it's not nearly as memorable as the other episodes, and it's kind of forgettable. I love the art style, especially for the characters and the scenery, but not nearly as much as the last entry. I also like the music for this one as it's unique and different from the other episodes. But other than that, the conflict is pretty simple and it's alright, and the resolution's kind of fitting, but nothing really spectacular. At number 4, Akakiri. I think this one's my least favorite when it comes to the character art style, but other than that, I definitely did like the scenery shots for this one as well. My only problem with this one is that the majority of the episode is kind of boring. It's just this long journey to get to the destination that we want to get to, and nothing really interesting happens. But the ending really makes up for that. I love this main character as it has a lot of parallels to Anakin, especially both of them falling for that same Force vision trap of losing someone you're connected to and falling to the dark side because of it. And by the way, look at this scene. The red color symbolizing him falling to the Sith. It's just really well done. At number 3, The Elder. Other than one specific episode, which we'll get to in a little bit, this episode understood its assignment of trying to make an intriguing story with the short time period they had. And I think they did a really well job with that. Both the plot and characters are very simple in this, but due to excellent dialogue, they keep me hooked on certain things. For example, how the antagonist said that he was not a Sith and they were destroyed. And also the Jedi saying the same thing, which leads me to believe that this is the time period of the Rule of Two, where everyone thought the Sith were gone. On top of that, we also have a really badass fight scene in the rain, so that's just a plus. At number 2, The Ninth Jedi. This one out of all the episodes has the most intriguing plot. And due to this well-written plot, you get a good grasp of the time period, this being the first time the Jedi Order has fell. For the short time period they have, they do a well job of establishing characters that you want to root for and against. And at the end of this episode, you have a really entertaining fight scene to watch. And by the way, I know this flies in the face of all things that are Star Wars canon, but I fucking love how the lightsaber color changes between each wielder, even though this makes no sense at all in Star Wars canon. And at number 1, we have The Duel. As I said previously, I think The Duel and The Elder did the best job with the time restraint of each episode. They both established a simple plot and characters, and they expanded upon it through action and dialogue. And the reason why I put this number 1 is simply because I think they have the most intriguing characters. I mean, just look at this ending. Without a single piece of dialogue, we get a greater understanding that not only is this not a prototypical Sith, but he's also a Sith hunter. I mean, look at all those goddamn red kyber crystals. Which is such a fucking cool concept. Out of all the episodes in Star Wars Visions, I would want them to expand on this the most. Not to mention the amazing choreography in the fight, and also the unique animation style. I mean, having everything black and white except for the lightsabers and the blasters is just so fucking beautiful to watch. And that's it. That's my entire ranking of Star Wars Visions. Comment below how you differ. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, consider liking and subscribing. And comment below what I should do next. I'll do movies, games, anime, shows, whatever. But again, thank you for watching.